Hey everyone, and welcome back to another shorter, more relaxed video. Today we're going to be looking at some more Reddit posts of people who just need to break up. I did another video on this a little while ago. I filmed it a few days ago. It got posted a few days ago. I'm not sure exactly when you're going to be seeing this video, but hi, welcome back to my channel. Usually I do kind of big deep dives and really educational videos, but this week I am prepping to go away and shoot an amazing music festival in Sheffield called Tramlines, which I'm very, very excited about. I'm going to be photographing some of the most amazing bands like Pulp, Franz Ferdinand, Scouting for Girls, Kasabian. I'm just so Sigrid's gonna be. I'm just really excited. I thought, I can't wait. This is literally a dream come true for me. So if you're going to be at the festival and you see me wandering around, please feel free to come say hi. I would love that. If not, you can go follow me on Instagram to go see all my stories. I'm going to be filming some content while I'm there. It's going to be really fun. I'm hopefully going to be putting together a little vlog type video while I'm there and afterwards, so you can follow that. But for now, I'm just making a few shorter, more casual videos. So I can keep making content for you guys while I'm off doing my photography work. So like I say, today we are going to be talking about couples who really should just break up, because one of the things that I often see in a lot of my content and I often talk about, and often have people saying to me is like, you know, oh, why are you still single? Why haven't you found anyone yet? And I'm like, well, I'd rather be happy single than miserable with the wrong person, because so much of society and culture, and I said this in the last video on this topic, seems to kind of like almost force people into like, you know, you need to be in a relationship, you need to be in marriage, you need to do this and this and this, and that's just absolutely not the case. But it does end up with a lot of people staying in relationships that aren't right for them just so they can be in a relationship, you know? And the other thing that got pointed out to me in my last video on this was a lot of people saying like, well, where are all the women messing up in this? Like, you've told us 3 stories here of men messing up. Why are you cherry picking them? And I was like, I didn't even notice I was doing that. I don't see this as a gendered thing. I think this is just a thing where, like, often people will stay with people who make them miserable because that's a cultural thing. And it's definitely kind of more true of heterosexual couples, I've found, where they're more likely to stay in miserable relationships because that's what society expects, you know? I took a bunch of screenshots from Reddit while I was researching this from a whole bunch of different relationship subreddits, and I just kind of went through chronologically and found this, and I'm just going through these screenshots chronologically. So the fact that so far all of them have been men messing up and women being upset but still staying with these terrible men, and the fact that the first story today is like that as well, it's a coincidence, but if we're seeing a pattern here, it should tell us something. I haven't purposely picked these out to make men look bad. It just so happens that the actions of men are making them look bad. I'll just say that. Our first story today is 25 female, ruined my boyfriend's, 25 male's, birthday. So today is my boyfriend's birthday and I ruined it. I gave him his gift early as I wanted to make sure it was something that he liked and would be useful for the purpose I got it for. He said he liked it but wasn't as excited about it as I'd hoped for, but whatever. We haven't gotten each other anything for the past 2 years, but I wanted to do something special. We're also getting ready to go on a weekend camping trip to celebrate as well. Here's where I messed up. We had plans to go for dinner, but he decided he'd rather try a local food truck instead. On the way there, he mentioned that I would need to drive home because he would be drinking. I was fine with this, as I've always been anytime he drinks and I don't. During this conversation, I mentioned that his plates were expired, so I wasn't 100% comfortable taking his vehicle. I'm not exactly sure how I worded this, but he took it as that I didn't want to drive home at all. He then told me that I ruined his birthday like everything else, and he said that he was having a good day until he had to come home to me. He also mentioned that he should have never invited me on this trip with his friends. I apologised and tried to explain that I didn't mean it the way that he took it, so we then went home and he isn't really talking to me. How do I fix this? Oh love, you don't fix this, you just break up. He's ungrateful for the gift you got him, which was a bonus anyway because you normally don't do gifts. So you're putting in time, effort, money. He's ungrateful. You didn't do anything wrong. You're walking on eggshells around him. You simply were like, yeah, I don't want to drive a car with expired plates. And he started a whole argument about that, not you. He's uninviting you on Friend Street. He's bossing you around, but you need to drive, leave him. Absolutely leave him. You're never going to be happy like this. Birthdays should be a celebration. They should be fun. They should be about like, hey, this is your day. Let's do something amazing and enjoy our time together and have a really fun time. And, you know, not him acting like a spoiled little brat. You don't fix this. You didn't do anything wrong. You just leave him. Let him be miserable by himself. You go be happier and find someone who actually deserves you. In summary, just break up. This next story is, oh look, another terrible man. Like, I promise I really didn't pick these. It's just what, I mean, I picked the stories, but not to make men look bad, okay? They're doing this all themselves. My 25 female boyfriend, 25 male, can't seem to stop talking about his ex, and I don't know what to do about it. So I've been dating my boyfriend for more than a year now. We met at a friend's party. I didn't have a lot of mutuals with the boyfriend to know more about him, so I was unsure about dating him, but after I met him on a couple of dates, he seemed like a decent dude and I decided to give him a chance, and now we're in a relationship. All things were going good relationship-wise, no serious fights. I can't remember exactly when and how it started, but for a month now, boyfriend keeps mentioning his ex in random conversations. How thin and beautiful she was, how religious she was, how good she was at singing, cooking, etc. It comes out of nowhere conversation, but I don't know how to react to it. I sometimes get angry about it, but it mostly makes me insecure about myself, as in I'm not good enough for him, and maybe that's why he keeps thinking about her. She's a married woman now, and I'm not concerned about him approaching her, because I'm hoping as she's married now, so she would refrain from entertaining her ex. Oddly written, but okay, we get the point. I don't know if this is breakup worthy yet because I haven't called him out on it or had any conversations about it really. Any suggestions on how I should go about this? Do I talk to him and ask him what's making him act like this, or just leave? So this one is a little more complicated because, you haven't spoken to him about it. He doesn't necessarily know that it's bothering you. So I would say the first thing would be to talk about it. Be like, hey, can you not do that, please? Hey, it's bothering me a bit. Explain your feelings, and hopefully he would stop, and there you go, live happily ever after. But I also think it's just a red flag in itself, isn't it, Kyra? Do you want to come say hi? Come on, come be part of the video. Good girl. Hi, my gorgeous one. And come sit on my knee. Give me a pudding. Yeah, got a little cubby space just for you right here. I feel like when you're in any adult relationship, you both have a past, you both have a history, and that is going to come up occasionally, right? Excuse me? Silly goose. That is going to come up occasionally, right? It's completely normal. It's part of life at this point. Everyone has a little bit of baggage, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I think if a person can mention, hey, yeah, and it's relevant to the conversation, something like, have you been to this restaurant? Oh yeah, I went there with an ex, it was really nice. Or have you been to this country? Yeah, I went on this holiday with an ex, it was lovely. Or maybe you want to explain something and be like, oh, I had an ex who mistreated me in this way, so sometimes I struggle with this. Again, I think that's a completely normal and mature way to bring things up. I think if it's like a passing remark every now and then, it's not a big issue. But if he's constantly bringing her up out of nowhere, and it's not because you're talking about an experience, you're talking about the person instead, and you're like, she was great in this way, she was great in this way, she was great in this way. And it's getting to the point where, your current partner is feeling compared to your ex. That's a massive red flag. That says to me that, he's not over his ex, he can't stop thinking about her. He is also, whether he's aware of it or not, and it's probably subconscious, he's comparing his current partner to his ex. Plus, they've been together a year. Surely he should be talking more about his current partner than his ex. You know what I mean? I'm ranting here. So I would say, generally, yeah, bring it up with him, see how he reacts and responds before you do anything drastic. But also, if it was me, speaking from experience, and I was dating a guy who was doing this, I would be like, that's a massive red flag. I don't want to be competing with his ex, because, oh my god, I've done that before. I went on a few dates with this one guy who would not stop talking about his ex, would not stop complaining about his ex posting stuff online, his ex did this, his ex did it. He kept writing songs about his ex, every new release was about his ex, and then past songs were about his ex, and then the future ones were, and the current ones were, and I was just like, I can't deal with this, he's not over her. I feel like I'm second best to this, woman who cheated on him and he won't let her go, and I was just like, I'm out, and I just slipped away. So I would say, yes, talk it out if you want, have a conversation, but if it was me, I would just break up. Okay, this next one is a little bit complicated, because when I first read it, I was, read the title and stuff, I was on the side of the man completely, but then the more you read, the more I was like, oh, a little more to it than this. So, my wife betrayed me on my birthday, lied for months, and made me question reality. So she sounds awful. I'm 36 and I feel like my sanity got ripped out of my chest. My wife, let's call her Rebecca, and I have been together for years. We have kids. A whole life built together. I'm not perfect. I had an infidelity almost 13 years ago, and I've owned it over and over. See, have you though? Because even the way you phrase that makes me think you haven't. I had an infidelity, not I cheated on my wife. I caused my wife to mistrust me. Not I messed up, I betrayed my wife. It's I had an infidelity. He's distancing himself from it. He's not owning it. I don't know if he's really made up for it. Just a little, So he thinks he's owned it, but she never wanted to process that. Instead, she chose to keep her feelings inside so they could reveal themselves in outbursts of rage. She didn't just hold on to that, she twisted it and made these negative perceptions about me and held on to them like they were gospel. Even when my actions proved I was changing, she kept me in that box. I honestly think she needed me to stay the bad guy so she could feel okay doing what she did. Except you were the bad guy, and how she processes that is completely up to her. It's not her fault if she's not over the way you betrayed her. I will say she should have broken up with you years ago. That's on her part, but here we are. Here's what she did wrong. She went on this work trip. She flew out the day of my birthday. My birthday! Before she left, she had an emotional outburst. She created a problematic situation and blamed my mistakes on it. Now, he never gives any details about what this was in the comments. He refuses to say. But clearly, he made mistakes that he refuses to acknowledge, and she was upset by them. But in his mind, it's all her fault. All her fault. I made an attempt to reconcile at the airport. She didn't accept. She heads into the airport and not 30 minutes later is flirting with 4 guys at the bar and gives them her number so they can all meet up at their destination. She hits me with the "I love you, you're the only one I want, try not to worry." She said all that while knowing exactly what she was planning. I also want to know how he knows this. He wasn't there in the airport bar with her. How does he know this happened? She drank to an excess, stayed out late, manipulated me by saying she didn't want me to contact her, but then would contact me and start arguments over little things just so she could hang up. Tells me I should have never contacted you. Her statements were always vague. On day 1 of her trip, on my damn birthday, she betrayed me with a married coworker, the same type of man she always said disgusted her. Rebecca used to go on and on about how she'd never be that woman, never be the type who destroys a family or helps someone cheat, but she became that woman. He also never tells us what this betrayal was. Did she go out for dinner with him? Did she kiss him? Did she sleep with him? We don't know. Maybe she just sent him a text. We don't know. The part that breaks my heart most is that the same night while she was out with him, she took a FaceTime call from me and our kids. She stepped away from her date, found a quiet corner of the restaurant, talked to us, told us she loves us, and then went right back to him, like we were just a quick commercial break before she went back to cheating. And it didn't stop there. After my birthday, she kept seeing him every other night on the trip. She'd tell me she was out with co-workers or a group. Lies. It was just them. She was cruel to me the entire time, except for the day she had to return home. When she came home, it got even worse. She came clean, which I really respect and appreciate. The part I don't appreciate is that she told version after version of what happened. Each time she swore, this is everything. Then days later I get a new detail, then another. She dragged it out for months, keeping me in agony, questioning what was real. Now this is where I will criticise her, because this is trickle-truthing, and this is never healthy. When I beg her for the full truth so I could heal, she'd twist it. She'd call me insecure or controlling, she'd throw my old mistakes in my face and belittle me in front of our friends, family, and even our kids. Again, that's not good. Let's not argue like that in front of kids. Let's not drag them into your drama, please. That said, I do think her bringing up stuff like his cheating in the past is relevant here, so I don't begrudge her that. She turned my past into her shield so she could stay the good one while I sat there feeling crazy. She always used to talk about how much she hated cheaters. She said she'd never be able to live with herself if she ever did that. Well, she did it. She did it and lied about it and protected the other man's family and job more than she protected ours. And now she wants me to move on and forget about it while she never really faces it. I feel humiliated. I feel broken. Maybe that's how your wife felt when you cheated in the first place. Have you thought about that? I don't know how to stop the spirals in my head. I don't know how to trust someone who used my loyalty and love to cover up their betrayal. What loyalty? What love? If you've ever been through this, how did you get your mind straight again? How do you know what's real when they change the story over and over? How do you forgive someone who would rather make you doubt your own reality than tell the truth? Thanks for letting me put this out there. I hate that I even have to share it, but I can't keep carrying this all by myself. Just break up. Again, just break up. You're both clearly miserable. I reckon she's probably waiting for the kids to get older to be able to leave. I reckon she probably only stayed for the kids because she's clearly not been happy this whole time. She's been holding on to it and hurting by it. And now she's like, this is it. This is my way out. Like, just break up. Neither of you is happy. Neither of you is healthy. Neither of you is good for the other. This is not a healthy relationship. And a lot of people stay together for the kids. But I'm like, no. Kids thrive better with happy, functional parents who are separate than miserable parents who are together. That is just a fact. Let's read some of the comments on this one. because they're interesting. It sounds like your marriage actually ended when she found out you cheated. How long do you plan on living in misery? The relationship sounds so toxic and dysfunctional that neither of you can even recognise how bad it is. I'm sorry you're both suffering, but something needs to change drastically for the sake of your children. Exactly. Quit trying to downplay your part in this. You cheated on your wife years ago. That would have changed the woman you married. She chose to get down in the gutter with you. You're getting a taste of what you deserve. I feel sorry for the kids. You and your wife have both chosen to be scumbags, but your kids didn't ask to be born into your dysfunctional relationship. Right, okay. I also like how he said he had an infidelity, like he caught a cold or something. And yeah, see, this is what stood out to me as well. Him knowing all about the guy she was flirting with in the airport seems a bit far-fetched, but luckily it wasn't important since she just immediately started banging her coworker for the whole trip. That's what I kept thinking, like, brother, how could you possibly know? I reckon she lied and never cheated. Interesting. What's interesting too is he never said she slept with the guy, just that she had dinner with him. It's implied they had sex since she cheated and betrayed him, but part of me wonders if he decided her having solo dinners with this guy was cheating. I find it really interesting that he left out both how old the kids are and what the incident that they thought about right before she left was. There you go. I'm guessing both of these would make him look much less sympathetic. Yeah. Okay, let's squeeze in another story because these have been quite short so far. My wife thinks we're soulmates. I think I settled. Based on the title alone, breakup. She deserves better. Breakup. We've been together we've been together 9 years. Married for 6. She's kind, loyal, sweet, smart. She loves me deeply, and she believes we were destined to meet. I treat her well. I've never cheated. Mate, that's the bare minimum. We laugh together, also bare minimum. On paper, we're perfect. But if I'm being honest, I've never been in love with her. My God. I cared about her, yes, but I was heartbroken when we met. She came into my life when I needed stability and comfort, and I mistook that for love. I kept thinking it would grow, it never did. Now we're in our 30s, we talk about kids. She looks at me like I'm the best thing that ever happened to her, and I feel like a fraud. I don't want to hurt her, I don't want to blow up both our lives, but I lie every night feeling like I stole the future of someone that could have had real epic love, and I don't think I'll ever forgive myself. Alright, forget about your guilt. That's not important in this. Stop, I feel so bad. No, think about your wife. Feel bad for her. She's the one missing out on someone who actually loves her and is excited about her, because that's what she deserves. That's what everyone deserves. The way she feels about you is how she deserves to feel felt about as well. Do her a favour and break up. It's gonna break her heart now, but in the long term, it's gonna be good for her. You know? Honestly, he should have broken up with her years ago. He really should. But seriously, just break up. There's no fixing this. Either you have the feelings or you don't. And you don't. So stop trying to drag it out longer just because you get something nice out of it. This one... I vaguely remember this one's quite bad. How can I save my marriage? I, 34 male, have been married to my wife, 30 female, for 10 years. So I've been married to my wife for 10 years and have 3 beautiful girls. Our life has been a series of ups and downs, with most of those downs being caused by me. I grew up in an abusive home with little to no... Oh, no, it's a typo. Okay, with little to no protection, both inside and outside the home. Her family life was no walk in the park, per se, but it was more stable than mine. That said, I have gone to therapy on and off, but it hasn't stuck for various reasons, usually because the therapist doesn't work out. Last summer, because of the neglect I was inflicting, at least he owns it. He inflicted neglect. He owns that, so more than can be said for the last man. My wife went to go spend the summer with her parents in... is that Florida? To get a break and took the kids. That was a really hard summer and made me realise how incredible she truly is. Come on. She had the kids all alone all summer with no help from you, and you had it really hard. Unfortunately, only minor changes were made when she came back, and a lot of things were swept under the rug. That's a you problem. You're the one neglecting her. You're the one who was sad she left. You made no change when she came back. This sounds like it's all on you, mate. Earlier this year I lost my job, which only added more to the pile. After about 3 months of job hunting, we made the tough call to move back with family until we were back on our feet. However, during this 3-month period, I got a job with Uber Eats. One day when I was supposed to be out delivering, I instead drove around town all day. She called me throughout the day to check on me, too, which I lied to her about where I was and what I was doing. It's badly written. When confronted, I tried to gaslight her into thinking that there was something wrong with the app and I would figure it out. That didn't fly and she kept looking for an answer, to which I gave her more lies. Ultimately, I came clean when I was backed into a corner with all the evidence. She's broken. I caused it. There's no way around that. We just finished talking and it sounds like this is the end. I need to know what it takes to fix this, if anything. Mate, you had so many opportunities to fix this. In 10 years, and you've made mistake. She left for a while, she came back, you realised how awful it was, you could have changed then, you could have fixed it then. You didn't. Like, it is too late. Just accept the breakup. Let her move on. Let her be happy. Let her sort her life out without you. And you sort your life out as well. You clearly need it. Oh my god, let's read some comments. Oh, okay, this is a good comment. Do you love her or do you love what she does for you? It sounds like you don't exactly want to change the way you're behaving. You want a short-term quick fix so that she will go back to normal and you can continue to treat her like her needs don't matter. She's tired of being in a tolerable state of permanent unhappiness. You don't fix this. You treat people better. You care about their happiness and you actively work towards making their life better for you being in it, not worse. This stands no matter whether your wife stays or goes. That's a great comment. I love that. Another person says, I don't think you can fix it. You're a terrible husband to her and the most you can do is just accept whatever decision she wants to make regarding your marriage. If she chooses to stay, then it's really your last chance to prove and show you want to be better and maybe you guys can get in a better place. But if she wants to divorce, then I think being cordial is being the best father you can be. Then I think being cordial and being the best father you can be is all that is left. Ooh, big comment here. I'm sorry for your situation, but it's frustrating to read. It was. Because it just feels like you do all these things, feel sorry, and then keep doing them. I'm sorry you experienced abuse, so did I, so did many, but it's not a get out of jail free card or a permanent excuse to be an uncaring bumhole. You seem to have a pattern. You do hurtful or actively neglectful things, your wife confronts you, you take small performative action, it's not clear how wholeheartedly or with how much effort, then backslide. Then she's had enough and you're suddenly really, really sorry. The problem is you're not. You seem unwilling to make actual effort or long-term changes. The ship of your marriage has been sinking for years, and your answer each time seems to have been to grab a bucket for a few minutes, then look for praise when she's trying to steer away from the rocks. Then they quote a few of the things he said, like, I've gone to therapy on and off, but it hasn't stuck for various reasons, usually because the therapist doesn't work out. Last summer, because of the neglect I was inflicting, my wife went to go spend the summer with her parents. Unfortunately, only minor changes were made when she came back, and a lot of things were swept under the rug. Your language about your own behaviour is so passive. Look at these examples. It was exactly passive. This is a great point. Look at these examples here. You keep trying to shift blame vaguely to the universe as if it wasn't you acting out. Therapy hasn't stuck despite multiple therapists. Have you asked yourself why? Are you combative or resistant to what your therapist discuss or suggest? The irony is you're actually committing to therapy might have saved you and your marriage. Get therapy and own your behaviour. Like, I think they're completely right. And there are a few times where, like, the therapist doesn't work out. So I've seen 4 different therapists in my life. The first one was absolutely awful. She was the university therapist, and I just felt she was being very judgmental. I did not feel safe or supported. I didn't go back to see her. I was just like, no. The second one, she was great, but I only had a limited number of sessions with her. The third one, I didn't really connect with either. And then the fourth one that I saw here in Leeds, and I still go back to and see when I need to, she's wonderful, she's brilliant, she's really good at, like, understanding a lot of the stuff that I go through and helping me figure things out for myself, and, like, she's really great. So I do think there are times when your therapist won't be right for you, but in those cases, you just keep trying until you do find one that works, if you actually care about getting help and improving. You know what I mean? This comment goes on and says, because of the neglect I was inflicting, what does this even mean? You can't even be honest with yourself. You're trying so hard to couch this in inoffensive terms. You weren't inflicting neglect. You were neglecting your wife. Okay, this is a great point, actually. I thought at least he was owning this here, saying, like, you know, the neglect I was inflicting, but this is a good point. It's still a bit passive. I don't think I'd be as harsh as this commenter, but I see where they're coming from. You were neglecting your wife full stop, and from your own descriptions, not supporting her as an equal partner, emotionally abusing, and even gaslighting her. Own your behaviour. Only minor changes were made. Dude, you act like you're not even a main character in your story. Unfortunately, be honest here, you resisted change. You didn't care enough to do what she asked. You didn't come through. Again, own your behaviour. I think there's no way for you to save your marriage, even if you're actually willing to do the work. But the only thing you can do here is try. Try to be a better partner. Apologise and work your bum off. Show her you will truly change. Commit to being a better partner, whether or not you split up. Get therapy, face what you've done with no more excuses, stop gaslighting and lying to her, and stop lying to yourself. Own your behaviour and for God's sakes try to learn from it, or you won't just lose your wife and family, you'll continue to sabotage yourself for a very unhappy life. Great points here, absolutely great points. And I do think, like, there's a lot of stuff that he needs to do to work on himself. I'm just not sure he's ever going to be a good husband to her or anyone else. Because he doesn't seem willing to change because he wants to make her happy. He seems to only want to make changes to keep her around. Because, like that other commenter said, he loves her for what she can do for him, not for who she is. So I think the best thing she can do is just break up. Move on, find someone decent, just break up. There you go. And anyway, with that is where I'm going to end this video today. Please let me know your thoughts on all of these stories down in the comments below. Let me know if there's any other themes of these short, light-hearted videos that you would like me to cover as well, because I do quite like doing them. They break up the big, heavy, deep dives and the heavy thinking and the... Like, when I do, like, you know, the saga of Paul and Morgan, when I've done, like... you know, the reviews of Rachel Wilson's book, it's very research heavy. It takes a hell of a lot of, like, mental work and also physical work and the filming, the editing, the everything. So sometimes it's nice to just do these short little projects and, you know, just have a bit of fun with it and get it out there. And I appreciate you guys for letting me do these and giving me an opportunity. So if you want to see a few more of these in between my heavier videos, which I'm absolutely still going to make, don't worry, on various topics, yeah, just let me know what you'd like me to cover and talk about, and I can do that too. So, yeah, thank you for watching today. Thank you for your support and time, and I appreciate you a lot. I'll see you again soon.